time to film my favorite video of the year. Yes, yes, yes. This is my favorite video to film every single year, and it just gets more fun every year I do it. So this year, as of right now, we have only like 2 days left in the year. I have read 43 books, and it's not my goal number. I wanted to get 52, but all things considered, 43 is really good, I think, especially because of how many reading slumps I had this year, and just, it was not a good reading year for me. However, I read a lot of really awesome books, and I'm really excited to share them with you today. Yes. So I did my best to look through and kind of rank them. They're not perfectly ranked, but we're going to start from the bottom and work our way to the top, obviously. Yeah, I read some really awesome books this year, so I think we should just get started. The first book on my list is the first book that I technically read in the new year. I read it on January 1st. I still remember it. I still love it. The Great Divorce by C.S. Lewis. I love C.S. Lewis a lot, so it was really cool to finally get to read this. I heard a lot of great things about it, and if you like theological books, if you want to think more about heaven and hell and eternity, this is just great. If you haven't read C.S. Lewis and you're a Christian, you should definitely put that on your TBR this year. The next one on my list is one that I read very recently. I saved it for a whole 12 months. My True Love Gave to Me, edited by Stephanie Perkins. I had been saving this book since I got it at the beginning of this past year, and I was like, I want to read it now. I want to save it for Christmas and holiday time. And so I planned out my reading schedule in a way that I started it on December 24th, and I think I finished it technically December 26th, but around midnight at the end of Christmas Day. So it was everything I wanted. I really liked Matt de la Pena. His was really great. I cried when I read Kiersten White's. I loved how unique Laini Taylor's was. It was kind of strange, but I got into it, I think. And I really loved Gail Forman's and all the rest of them. They're all really cute. But this one, I haven't read contemporary in a while, so it was nice to just kind of like ease into a book and not have to worry about what world I'm in. It was just so cute, and it made me cry, and I loved it, and it's perfect for the holiday season. So next Christmas, when you need a book to read on Christmas, pick up this guy because it's a doozy. The next book on my list, it probably should have ranked higher, but because I read a lot of really good books, it just didn't. But it's really good anyways. Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I know it's supposed to come out in like 5 days or less, but I got an arc of this book and it was so awesome and wonderful, and I just loved it. I love the story, I love the characters so much, and I think it was really, really well done. This year I finally read some Morgan Matson books, and this one, it was so hard to rank them because they were both really good, but this one is next on our list. Since You've Been Gone, I Can't Breathe for the First Time. Since You've Been Gone by Morgan Matson. Picked this up because I love the cover and I love the premise of it, and it was everything. It's like a summer read. Even though I didn't really read it in the summer, it just gave me those summertime feels, and it was very like aesthetically pleasing to read because I was like, if I could picture summer, it's this book. And it was just such an interesting read, and it really reminded me of my friendship with my friend Laura, and I don't know, it just made me feel really empowered and wonderful about myself, and it's definitely a book that I'm going to want to reread in the future. Next, we're finally getting into some finales. End of Days by Susan E. This is the last book in the Penryn and the End of Days trilogy. It came out in May. I got an early arc of it, and it just was wonderful. I love the humor in this book. It's so funny, and my OTP, Penryn and Raffi, beautiful. Just so good. So awesome. And I'm just really happy with this finale. It was really good. I loved it. And it stuck with me since May, so. Next, Amy and Roger's Epic Detour by Morgan Matson. This one ranks a little bit higher than Since You've Been Gone for me, just because of the music aspect. And there is music in Since You've Been Gone, but I think I like this one a little bit more because I'm pretty sure it made me cry. Can't really remember where, but I'm pretty sure it made me cry. And the music playlists are a huge part of my life, and so to see them put into book form, it was just awesome. And I love me some road trips. I love me some interesting landmarks and stuff like that, and it was super, super awesome to read this book. Like, I just enjoyed myself, even when I was like feeling bad and sad and depressed. It was awesome. And I love it. It was my first Morgan Matson book, and it'll probably be my favorite forever. This is the book I read on 4th of July this year because apparently I read books on 4th of July now. The Assassin's Blade by Sarah J Maas. This is the prequel novella bind up of a bunch of, well, Throne of Glass novellas, and I put it off for a long time because I don't really think I'm a novella person. However, I just really enjoyed myself when I was reading this book, and it gave me a lot of insight into the Throne of Glass world and like Celaena's life. Sam Cortland is my favorite, and it really helped me get in the mood for Queen of Shadows. Like, reading this made me want to reread the rest of the series. So this is really the main reason I loved Queen of Shadows this year. So thank you, Sarah, for this beautiful world and these beautiful characters. This is a book I did not know was gonna make the list until I made the list and realized it had to be on it, obviously. I got this book for review, and it was a book that I didn't know anything about, and I was like, oh yeah, that cover! It's a pretty cover, I'll take it, sure, bring it on. I really enjoyed it, a lot more than I expected to. Every Last Word by Tamara Island Stone. This book was so well done. Like, it combined my love of music and playlists, and it also had mental illness in there, and like, it was really, really plot twisty and sad, but beautiful all at the same time. And even though I haven't read it in a couple months, like, if you haven't read this book, please pick it up. It's life-changing. It's awesome. So now we're getting into my top 5. Vicious by V.E. Schwab. Oh my gosh, guys. Oh my gosh. I cannot even remember half of the plot of this book anymore because it's been a while and I read it really fast, but oh my gosh, guys. We're getting a sequel to Vicious later, and like, I'm just so excited because I love this book. The characters are so dynamic and crazy and awesome, and like, the world is really unique, and I love the premise and like the writing style with the chronological crap and the timeline, and I could rave. I could rave. Go on, girl. By Gillian Flynn. I've been wanting to read this book since the movie came out, and it was one of those books that I was like, I gotta read it before I see the film. It's really good, I'm sure. I gotta read it. I didn't expect it to be so wonderful, and I've seen the movie now like 4 times since I've read it, but it was literally like one of the best books I've ever read. It was so phenomenal. I love the character of Amy. She's just wonderful. I mean, she's horrible, but she's wonderful. And I loved the writing, and I loved how it was told, and like the order and the timeline, and like, I don't know, it was just really ingenious to me. And I also think the cover is pretty and it's beautiful, and I really would like a hardcover copy. Number 3 on our list, Winter. It's kind of like a repeat of last year when I did Cress and you know, Air Fire, but Winter. Oh man, Winter was so enjoyable, and it was really long, but like, the characters are wonderful, and the storyline was great, and like, the way Marissa Meyer tied it all up was just awesome, and I really enjoyed myself when I was reading this, and it totally didn't feel like 800 pages, so I had to put it at the top of my list because it was just a great finale, and I loved it. Alright, this is the only book that I don't have on hand because I lent it to Laura. It's ACOTAR, A Court of Thorns and Roses. Yes. I just, it was really hard to pick between putting this first or second. I ended up settling for second, but if you watch my review of that video, like, that book changed me as a person. I haven't felt that much zeal for a book since like Harry Potter, or Throne of Glass, but it was just so, oh my gosh, I haven't enjoyed a book that much in forever. It was just all the feels, and it was so beautiful. Alright, we're here at number 1, and I think you know what I'm gonna pull out and talk about. Yeah. It's funny because last year I had just started this series, and this year it has just taken over my entire life, and this book was so freaking good. I honestly am just unsure of how next year is gonna go because I don't know how you can top this book. It has moved up. This is probably my 2nd favorite book of all time, and I'm hoping it's gonna stay there forever because it was just everything I wanted. Like, kick-ass girls, awesome humor, great fight scenes, huge action sequences, like plot twists, and it was really long, and there were great characters, and just it was everything I ever wanted, honestly, in a book. Like, I'm just so in love with it. So that's it. Those are my favorite books of the year. You should definitely comment below with your favorite book of the year. I just want to thank you guys for sticking around for another year. 2015 was just a great year for books, man. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you guys soon.